So lots of games hide hidden details for players to find, and even if you do find them, there's still a chance that you might forget them. That's why in today's video we're taking a look at 20 hidden details in video games that you may have missed. Here on this channel I share the best Easter eggs and details found in video games, and I record everything myself. Yes, I am patting myself on the back because you'd be surprised at how many gaming YouTubers don't record their own footage and just steal it from smaller channels. So if me sometimes spending hours recording just one Easter egg sounds like something you might be interested in, then maybe consider subscribing. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. Right, let's begin today's video with a detail that is going to give a lot of you a serious hit of nostalgia. In 3D platformer Hellpie, you can find a bunch of demons doing something that a whole bunch of you have done before. So the demons are watching the DVD logo bounce around the screen, which, believe it or not, was prime entertainment 20 odd years ago. Now, what makes this so cool is that when the DVD logo hits the corner, the demons will celebrate, which is pretty funny. So, Ion Fury is a first-person shooter where your main aim, pun intended, is to shoot just about everything that moves, and even if it doesn't move, you might want to shoot it anyway. You see, during the Heskel's House of Horrors level, if you shoot the moon, this will happen. So the moon seems to have feelings, as each time you shoot it, it says ouch, before asking what did I ever do to you, and then eventually falling to the ground. Now QuickTime events aren't anywhere near as common in games as they used to be, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. On the one hand, when QTEs were done right, they were a great way to make you feel part of a set piece that would have been impossible to be a part of in regular gameplay. On the other hand, they also meant that you were always one button press away from failure. Well, in Spider-Man Web of Shadows, the developers made it so that even if you failed, you still had a laugh. During the fight with Black Cat, if you missed a button press, instead of just giving you a game over, you actually get to see the consequences of your slow reactions in real time.
I told you to lay off. Are you okay? I told you to lay off.
I mean, it's pretty impressive that there is a different cutscene depending on what part of the QTE you failed. Now, I remember a friend of mine showing me this next detail before this YouTube channel was even a thing. And even then, I couldn't believe how cool it was. I mean, when compared to some of the stuff in games today, it definitely won't blow your mind. But I still want to mention it because I want to. On certain tree stumps, you can see this. Now, I know that some of you will look at this and think, what's so special about that? But a few years back, I couldn't believe that someone at Bethesda had added ants to the game. And to be honest, all these years later, I still think it's really cool. So Lara Croft is officially back. Well, she has a new TV show and a game coming soon, but have you heard of her lesser known animal counterpart? You see, in Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which is part of the awesome reboot trilogy, you can enter photo mode and flick through a ton of poses and expressions to make Lara look pretty much any way you want. Well, one of the poses is this. So allow me to introduce you to Llama Croft, which is Lara Croft, but as a llama. I'm not sure why this is a thing, but I'm just happy that it is. So in Telltale's The Walking Dead, you get to meet plenty of different people. Some of them good, some of them bad, and some of them Duck. Now, for those not in the know, Duck is the son of Kenny and Katja. And spoiler alert, Duck dies during Season 1. Now, Duck's transformation from high-fiving minor annoyance
Cool!
to bona fide brain-chewing zombie is a relatively slow one, with his parents thinking the slow turn means their boy is going to be okay. Kenny in particular seems to be doing his best to ignore Duck's condition, and that's why Lee has to speak to Kenny and get him to come to terms with the situation. Well, if you approach Kenny in the cabin, but only say one line of dialogue and then just blank him, this will happen.
Duck's just about gone back there, man.
Don't feed me that bullshit. He'll be fine. Go back there and tell my wife everything will be fine. What is the goddamn deal? He's a little sick, but we can't just quit. It's a scratch. He's not like the others. Jesus, all y'all are just making it worse.
Hey! Damn it, Kitty, open this door!
So Duck will turn and kill everyone on board the train. Well, apart from Kenny, who is safely locked away in the cabin, which doesn't seem fair at all. Anyway, apparently this outcome has only been seen by 0.5% of players. And the name for this extremely rare event? Well, it's the Duckpocalypse. Because of course it is. Now, some open world games are massive, but sometimes size isn't everything. I mean, it's all well and good having a huge map to explore, but if the map feels lifeless, then what's the point? That's why I personally like the size of Saints Row 2's map, which isn't all that big, but it does feel alive. An example of this can be seen in Chinatown, where you can find a giant gong, and if you shoot the gong, well, nothing happens, which kind of goes against what I'm saying. But if you grab a nearby NPC and introduce them headfirst into the gong, this will happen.
Who else wants a piece, eh?
Okay, so the gong doesn't move, but at least the gong goes gong, which is strangely satisfying. For me, of course, I'm sure it's not as much fun for the human darts. Now, I'm probably not alone when I say that Wheatley might be the best part of Portal 2. Honestly, the voice acting from the inept personality core is excellent, and really makes you feel like Spider-Man.
Make me feel like Spider-Man.
Now, during Chapter 8, Wheatley kindly asks you to stand on a platform whilst he plots your imminent demise. But thanks to some nearby conversion gel, you're able to make it to safety and continue on your way. I mean, Wheatley does beg for your return, but you'd have to be stupid to trust him after what just happened. Well, let's say you do trust him, and you do head back to the trap. What happens?
Oh, you came back. I didn't plan for this. Can't reset the death trap. Oh, could you just jump into that pit? Would you just jump into that pit for me? Would you just jump into that pit there? That deadly pit? You're saying to yourself, why should I jump in the pit? I'll tell you why. Guess who's down there? Your parents! You're not adopted after all. It's your natural parents down there in the pit. Should have mentioned it before, but I didn't. So jump on down and reunite with Mummy and Daddy. Oh, I'll tell you what's also down there. Your parents, and there's also an escape elevator down there. Funny, I should have mentioned it before, but so it's down there. So pop down, jump down, you got your folks down there, and an escape elevator. And what else is down there? Tell you what, it's only a new jumpsuit. A very trendy designer, jumped from France. Down there, which is at least exactly your size, and if it's a bit baggy, we got a tailor down there as well who can take it in for you. What's this? A lovely handbag and the 3 portal device. Also, it's all down there. You've got yacht and boys. Loads of boys, fellas, hunky guys down there, possibly even a boyfriend. Who's to say? I'm not sure at this stage, but a lot of good-looking fellas down there. And a boy band as well, that haven't seen a woman in years. And they're not picky at all. They don't care if you've got a bit of brain damage, if you've been running around, if you've been sweating. And a farm, a pony farm, and just jump down, would you?
You really do have brain damage, don't you? I can't believe you came back.
Oh, wow, good. I didn't think that was going to work.
So when I shared this detail on my Shorts channel, someone said it would have been brilliant if all of the things that Wheatley actually promised were down there. But unfortunately, Wheatley is a dirty, stinking liar, so no ponies for you. Now, the censorship of the Tony Hawk 3 remake has been well documented, and so has the removal of loads of the game's unlockable characters, which is why I still love this next detail from the original Tony Hawk 3. At the character select screen, the guy behind the counter will react differently depending on your chosen character. Here are just a few of my favourite examples.
What is your location?
I love this tune. Who wants to dance? I said, get down, baby. That's right. What's up? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's just me, but it just feels like older games had way more personality. So one of my favourite things to do in games is to sneak up on NPCs and listen in on their conversations. Sure, most of the time it's the same boring dialogue on repeat, but sometimes you can stumble across pure comedy gold. During the Siberia aid level in Serious Sam Siberian Mayhem, you can listen in on two guards who would rather be anywhere in the world than in the middle of Siberia. Another example of overly chatty NPCs can be heard in the excellent Timesplitters Future Perfect. During the Russian Connection mission, if you take the stealth route and avoid detection, you can listen in on some behind-the-scenes gossip.
It's not fair. The girls get much nicer uniforms than we do.
You want to wear the girls' uniforms?
Yes, I think they give good freedom of movement, and they must be nice and cool in summer.
Oh man, you're weird. Why are you telling me this?
I think you will understand. I have watched you a lot. I think you are not like the others. I think we could become special friends. But now we are alone. Now is time for action, not words.
Mommy!
I'm just going to leave these two to it. Now, I'm not sure about you, but if I was a playable character in a fighting game, I would want to be picked. I mean, sure, it doesn't benefit me in any way, but I just don't want to be the character that everyone avoids. Well, in WCW Thunder, most of the guys will agree, as you can choose to listen to a rant from each wrestler on why you should pick them.
This is the Stinger, and I'm in the mood for handing out more than just one Stinger death drop.
Goldberg here. If you pick me, you'll find out who's next. Ah!
Now, I said most guys, because if you do the same with Kevin Nash, he will say this.
Hey, wait a second. I know what you're thinking. You want to be me like everybody else. Forget about it. You don't have the mental skills or the dexterity. Go on. Go pick somebody else. Pick Hogan or some. Don't pick me. Move. Go. Go.
Now, on the surface of things, Who's Your Daddy seems relatively child-friendly, but I'm here to tell you that it's definitely not. I mean, the whole point of the game is leaving your parents childless, which is already pretty dark, but you can find something in your mum's bedside table that you definitely weren't meant to find. So inside the drawer is a whole bunch of lube and a strange rubber object. Here is where I would usually tell you to ask your mum if you don't know what this is. But I'm going to spare you that awkward conversation this time and instead tell you to ask your gran. Oh, and if anyone knows where there's a whole bunch of peanuts in the drawer, let me know, because I honestly haven't got a clue. Now, we've all stared at a character in a game before. It's okay, you can admit it, this is a safe space. You might have been looking because they are so incredibly detailed, or you might have been looking because, well, they're so incredibly detailed. In the first-person shooter Sin Episodes Emergence, you team up with Jessica, who is a pretty handy ally to have. Well, if you stare at Jessica for too long, this will happen.
Huh, I thought Alexis was more your type, Blade. Can I help you with something? See something you like? Whoa, fella, eyes up here. Get your mind out of the gutter, Blade. Want a digital image? It'll last a lot longer. I said let's kick ass, not lick ass. Do I have something on my butt, Blade?
Now, I've said before that Watch Dogs 2 was all wacky and zany. Now, before it went all wacky and zany with Watch Dogs 2... See, I did say that. Now, whilst I stand by my past comments, that doesn't mean that it's all fun and games in San Francisco. One of the privacy invasions that you can find is this.
Maria, you told me to be strong. You stood by me. Thank you. But every night I close my eyes and I see Mike Nassan. I hear people screaming at me. I hear me screaming at myself. I'll never forgive myself. Mike, I'm so sorry. Goodbye, Maria. I'll never stop loving you.
So, after being fired, the man thought he had no other choice. And all jokes aside, that's really sad. Well, I'm happy to report that it is possible to save this man through some hacking trickery and a hero of a neighbour.
What the fuck? Hey man, you in there? Oh shit. Hold on. Emilio! Open the door, man. I can't get in there. It's stuck. Crack it open, man. I got a crowbar. Hey, man, what are you fucking doing? Come on. Come on, man.
Now, during the tutorial of Oblivion, you are put up against some rather large rats so that you can get to grips with the game's combat systems. So far, so normal. I mean, loads of games will feed you their weakest enemies until you're ready for something bigger. The only problem is, this may lead you to think that every single rat you see is an enemy, but that isn't true. As you approach the end of the sewers with dozens of rat kills to your name, you'll encounter a single lone rat, and your first instinct is to probably kill it and move on. Here's the thing, this rat isn't hostile, and it won't attack. Apparently, this harmless little guy was an experiment by the devs to see how you'd react after already slaying so many rats. So I'm interested to find out if you spared this rat or added one more body to your rat kill count. Okay, so it's time for my customary idle animation appreciation part of the video. And today's idle animations come from Shrek 2, which despite being a pretty bad game, has awesome idle animations. So this next game was made purely to parody another game, and the supposed pretentiousness of its developer. And that's the sort of pettiness I can get behind. The Looker makes no secret that it's mocking the extremely popular puzzle game The Witness, and I have to admit, it does a pretty good job. Anyway, when exploring the Looker, you can find a hint button that's been tossed in the trash, and if you speak to the button, it will have quite the story to tell.
Go on, Don't look at me. Can you hear me? I'm nothing but a rusty chunk of steel. You don't want nothing to do with me. All right. I'll tell you my story. It was June the 8th, 1947, gray morning, slightly foggy. I had my own practice then, and I was living higher than a cosmonaut on a stepladder. My hints were subtle too, real subtle. Back then, they said good old hint button. His hints could steal the tail off a weasel. Then they tossed me in the can. Know what, know why, know how. Those were the mean times, when all the common sense in the world won't make a nickel to buy you a black coffee. I used rope to tie my pants and pants to tie my shoes. I made do the way a man does, till one day, after stealing the socks off a fireplace, I caught my own look in a puddle of bootleg rye and realized I had to do what I'd never done before. I gave myself a hint. So that's me. I was nothing but a downtown crumb who dreamed of being a whole sandwich. Now I'm just another sloppy Joe.
Who knew the life of a hint button could be so interesting? So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like. I'm pretty sure it helps. I'm just not 100% sure how. If you want to drink something that gives you an energy boost but doesn't contain bucket loads of sugar, then make sure you scan the QR code on screen and use code CAP to get 10% off your order at Gamersubs. As always, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.